you get into a situation where, let's say an organization has a very limited skill set, that you're going to hand this off to, you may end up in a situation where you're architecting to what they can support, but it's a compromised solution. So do you sometimes end up in a position where you pick the lowest possible common denominator, but it's got to be where they maybe have to up their game a little bit, like that driving that paddle boat around isn't enough. You need to get to a 2-seat Cessna, and you're going to have to get them to upgrade their internal skill set, or the security and the usability or the efficiency and effectiveness of the application can be compromised a bit?
Yes. I mean, that is certainly a consideration. We've seen it happen. There are ways to, even for the lowest common denominator, to build a small web app, a single page app type of architecture in easy to manage solution like Lightsail. Doesn't require a lot of knowledge. It's not going to give you, the scalability for an enterprise, level global application, but has, built-in load balancer capabilities and networking. So there are ways to do that, to be able to hand it off to somebody who really doesn't have a comprehensive knowledge of how AWS services work and interrelate. But yeah, in most cases, deciding when we start, building an application, what the vision is. So where is it going to be used? Does it need to be, are we going to go down the containerization road, which I would say, 95% of the time the answer is yes. Where do they, how many are we deploying and having to support, Google Cloud as well as, AWS and Azure, and what's the, and on-prem solutions. So some of these things, not necessarily for the code itself, but the whole process. So when we build an application, we're looking at it from the actual lines of code to the pipelines that need to be built, the deployment process, the code reviewing, just kind of soup to nuts, the entire process, and then trying to understand what pieces we're responsible for and what the customer wants to take responsibility for.
Listening to the Virtual CISO Podcast, providing the best insight on information security and security IT advice to business leaders everywhere.